Okay, it is the 5th of October. Yeah, 5th of October. Going to be going and taking down the last two fish tubs for the year. Gonna leave up the turtle tub for another week or two. Just because I can, and also it's still fairly warm during the day, and so I'll probably bring the turtle in when the highs during the day are in the 50s instead of the 60s and 70s. But yeah, draining down the Hikari medaka tub, and then I'll move on to the Miyuki tub, and yeah, bringing those guys in. So I will update you with the progress on that. Okay, so the last two medaka tubs have been taken down. Going over here. You can't see it very well because it's a white fish in a white bucket. But those are the Miyuki medakas. Got back most of the breeders that I put out. Looks like there's what? Oh, I don't know, 10 of them, maybe 12. And then got, 3 or 4 offspring, which is shockingly low. So, yeah, just they've not been producing well for me for the last several years. And honestly, it's not that, they're not a line that I am, like, I like them because they're the first ones that I got, and everyone who sees them likes them because of the iridescence, but there's a lot of people with Miyukis, and they kind of have the issue of it takes them a while for that, at least for my line, for that iridescence to develop, and it just doesn't seem like they're really commercially viable for me. Now this other bucket is empty because I have the Hikaris, the Yang Guifei Hikari, that I've put in this to show this is the sum total output. All 3 males, my one original male, and then his 2 offspring. The last female that was in there conked out. So yeah, I guess this is enough to keep this limping along and try again next year. But I'm just kind of getting, I've been working with these Hikaris since 2022 and just have not had very much success. So I guess we'll give it one last shot next year, but I'm not super enthusiastic. Especially because, like, this guy here in the front left, he's really good conformation. He's got a very straight back. His tail is not symmetrical, but that's okay. But this guy, I mean, he's not terrible, but his back isn't as straight as the other guy, and his tail, you can see he's got that notch in it, which is definitely not great. Actually, no, this guy right here is actually the original breeder male. So this is his son, kind of a little bit of an arched back, and then the notch in the tail, and then his other son is that guy in the back who seems to have a more pronounced arch to his back, although his tail is nice and symmetrical and doesn't have a notch. So, and here, let me try to clear that off. The water's cold, so it's getting some fogging on it. But yeah, so if you don't know Hikari, it is a mutation that basically, it's actually really interesting. The scientific term for it is actually DA for double anal, and what it is basically the back half of the body, essentially the bottom gets cloned to the top. Well, not cloned, but duplicated on top. So instead of having instead of having a standard dorsal fin, like a standard medaka dorsal fin, which is relatively small, a Hikari will have, if we can, yeah, there we can see them again. Hikaris have, the dorsal fin is shaped exactly the same as the anal fin because it's basically a duplicated anal fin. And the tail fin is diamond shaped because it's actually 2 tail fins, one duplicate on top of the other. So interesting from like a developmental perspective, but yeah, just not, it's, they just turned out to be difficult to produce, and yeah, and I've heard that they can have issues with having straight backs, and I haven't had terrible, but definitely they're, I don't know, we'll see. I got those, I bred the original male with a Satan Gold Cross female this fall to get some hets to work, to breed with his sons next year, but we'll see. Like I said, I just don't know how much more effort I want to put into these, especially after the third year of them not meeting the standards, both conformation wise and production wise. And just to talk a bit about the plants too before we go, the Xanadecia is in full bloom. We did have a relatively intense frost, not intense, but it got down to 30 degrees twice this week, and so I think there's a bit of frost damage like on this flower. I mean, it still looks good, but you can see the syrphid hanging out on the spike there, but you can definitely see that it's got a little bit of like not reticulation, but crinkling to it that I think is from the frost. And then the rest, I've actually pulled out some of the stuff that I had in the overwinter tubs, like some of the mint that I just had in there to keep going for the pollinators. But now these are pretty much almost all just plants that are going to be overwintering through the fall. I do need to pull out this canna right here. But the plan is I've actually pulled out the other cannas and thalias, going to let the vegetation die back and then cut it off and then unpot them, knock all the substrate off the roots, and then and with the Xanadecia too. So canna, Xanadecia, and thalia, I'm going to take all those and overwinter them in the fridge as just roots / tubers / corms, whatever. I forget what each of these is. But the rest of this stuff is going to be overwintering outside. So yeah, and hopefully it makes it. I pretty much am only keeping out stuff that I know has overwintered before. These Twister Rush, the Juncus effusus, they probably won't overwinter, but I have had them every once in a while. They will overwinter, so why the hell not try, But yeah, that's pretty much it for the fish tubs for the year. I do have the turtle tub is still up. Like I said, I'm going to keep it going for another week or two. Maybe if the weather's really good, it might stay up till November. But I'm going to keep it going until we consistently are getting freezes overnight and the daytime temps are now getting above 60, and then I will pull the turtle and start hibernating her. And I'll make a video when I do that. But other than that, and the insane dog barking that's been occurring over this video, yeah, we're pretty much getting to the end of the summer tub season. And once the turtle's in, I will do a full wrap-up on what's happened. So, or not on what's happened, but a review of the season. So anyway, yeah, interested to hear how your guys' summer tubbing seasons went. Just leave a note in the comments, and yeah, talk with you later.